Hello, it's Reverend Felicia Parazaider. Happy holy days to you. I am the founder of the Revolution of Love, which is a ministry and it's a movement. It's two things, really. And, when we hear the word ministry, we often think what? Christian based. And what is so incredible about the Revolution of Love is that it isn't a Christian ministry, actually. It is a ministry that welcomes everyone. So if you have a faith tradition, if it's Christianity, if it's Islam, if it's Judaism, if it's Sikhism, on and on, paganism, you are welcome. You have a seat at the table. And if you don't, you also have a seat at the table if you're agnostic, if you're atheist. It's really far out in that regard because it's truly welcoming everybody. And that means you. Now, the other piece to it, I said it's a movement. And the reason I say that is because it is rooted in nonviolence. If there is a religion going round at the Revolution of Love, it is nonviolence. Religion, coming from the Latin word religare, to bind together. That is what binds the Revolution of Love together, is nonviolent philosophy, the teachings of nonviolence, which are the path of peace, the path of forgiveness, the path of compassion, the path of love. A higher love, though. Not just any love, a higher love, a non-GMO, gluten-free, organic love. Kidding aside, the highest frequency love, which is very bold and very risky and takes a lot of mastery. Now, let's get to the video at hand tonight. Just wanted to share that. I want to be very clear with what the Revolution of Love is before I got into the meat and potatoes, if you will, of this video. Now, this video is devoted to a holiday question, which I'm getting to a little bit later than I had wanted. The question was, during this holiday season, a lot of people are depressed. A lot of people are feeling more challenged than usual. You might be feeling more challenged, maybe more kind of sad, more melancholy. And particularly for people, say, that have been survivors of abuse or some kind of trauma. And so the question to me was all of that plus this. This was the main piece. How do we keep going? So say you're one of those people and you're feeling sad, and that trauma and that grief of yesteryear is really coming up for you. How do you keep going right now? There's three things that flew through my mind the other night, and I would like to share them with you as methodically and swiftly as I can. So number one, the other night I was trimming my beautiful tree. First tree I've ever bought in so many years. And I'm trimming this tree. And I'm really in the moment, and I'm listening to Coast 103.5. The holiday songs were playing at the time. And there was a song that came on by the Carpenters. And Karen Carpenter and her lovely, incredible voice, her songbird of a voice, is blessing my apartment. And those of you that don't know about Karen Carpenter, she died. She died due to complications of anorexia nervosa. She had been very ill with an eating disorder for a long time. I remember when she died, and I remember there was a great response to her death for a lot of reasons. For one, she was talented, and a lot of people just really loved her. She came off in the public eye like just a lovely person, a good person. There was another piece to it, though, and that was that she really rose a lot of awareness. Her death, her passing, rose a lot of awareness about this very mystifying illness called anorexia nervosa. And I don't think that we would have as much information today about this disease if it wasn't for her death, possibly. I know it impacted me. Long time after she died, I became like Karen. I developed an eating disorder. I developed anorexia nervosa specifically. So I struggled, and I took that one to the limit, and this was over 20 years ago now. And when I say I took it to the limit, I mean I took it to the limit. I ended up in emergency rooms and had a bunch of heart issues, and you name it, it happened. And so when I was trimming the tree, I flashed back on those days, and because of hearing Karen's voice. And I thought to myself, friends, I thought, I am so glad I didn't throw in the towel. I am so glad I didn't throw in the towel. And I was kneeling on the floor by this manger on the floor, and I just took that in, and I had to pause, because it doesn't even seem like it happened, all of that stuff. How do we keep going when we're triggered, when we're depressed, when we're experiencing a blowback of trauma due to pain? We just don't throw in the towel. Don't throw in the towel. That's the first thing, because it may just lead to the second thing. Have you ever felt like you're in the desert and you are starving and you are thirsty and you are crawling on your knees, just one hand, one foot dragging behind you at a time, and it is a dark night of the soul, as they say, that expression. A dark night of the soul, de profundis, out of the depths of despair, I cry out to you, O God. You felt that? What if you don't throw in the towel, there is a divine spark of hope that illuminates that darkness, a divine spark of hope that reminds you that you matter, that reminds you that you must keep going, that you have to keep going, because you don't know what could be around the corner. It is this divine spark that reminds us and that lifts our head up, where we go, oh my gosh, I can't go anywhere, not yet, not yet. That's the second thing. And the third thing is this. I did a video the other night, and I put this funny little nose on. And this is straight out of Patch Adams. The third thing is something as simple as joy. How do we keep going? Find a slice of joy, my friends. Find a piece of happy. I put this on, and I'm going to put it on again. I put this on for a reason. The reason I put this on was because sometimes we just need to laugh. Sometimes we just need some happy. We just need some joy. I'm calling upon you tonight, if you're one of these people, and if you're crawling through the desert one hand at a time, feet dragging behind you, and maybe you can't see even the divine spark. There's no hope in sight. You find your piece of joy. You find your slice of happy. Something. Look for it. It will be there. I promise you. God has got you. Ask for help. Ask God to bring your joy in. Those are your three things. Don't throw in the towel. Look for that divine spark that reminds you that you have to keep going, that you matter, and find your slice of happy. That is it, my friends. I'm at 9 minutes and counting. I pray that this finds you well. I hope that this is helpful, and I look forward to the next time we meet. Many, many blessings.